my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers.
Hey, what's up? It's Mr. J3T, aka Big Sexy, aka the Kentucky Cannon, aka the World Class Badass, aka Chocolate Thunder with a Caramel Swirl, aka Black Lightning with the Peanut Butter Filling, aka the Man of the Century, aka your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, aka the Cream of the Crop, aka Big Daddy Long, and so on and so forth. So, I'm back. I know it's been a minute since I last uploaded. Sorry, I was a little busy and life was starting to happen. Some stuff in my personal life happened. So I was a little busy, with work, life, but none of that matters now. I'm back. And today, let's talk about something that I find really interesting. So if you've been living under a rock for the past few days, or let me rephrase that. If you're a wrestling fan or an MMA fan and you've been living under a rock for the past few days, the WWE has been bought. Yeah. Vince McMahon sold the WWE. Who did he sell it to? Endeavor. Now, if you don't know Endeavor are the owners of the UFC. And so now that Endeavor bought the WWE, the WWE and UFC are now going to merge into one big company. So this past weekend was WrestleMania, and that might be the end of WrestleMania as we know it, or as we know it. That might be the end of the Vince McMahon owned. That was the last WrestleMania that was owned by Vince McMahon. So a lot of feelings on this. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about this. I've known that there was going to be a sale of the WWE for a minute now. Ever since Vince McMahon came back into power in WWE, I've known that there was going to be an inevitable sale of WWE, and I just didn't know who. At first, people were like, "Oh, Disney's going to buy them." Then I've heard that the Saudi Arabian government was going to buy WWE. I've heard a lot. There has been a lot of names in the hat of people that were supposedly going to buy WWE, but Endeavor ended up buying them. So I don't know what this means for any WWE fans out there. From what Vince McMahon and the owner of Endeavor said, they're going to keep the two brands separate. So WWE, they're still going to be over on their side doing their thing, and Dana White and the UFC are going to be over here doing their thing, and they're just going to have occasional crossovers for brand synergy. And yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not the biggest fan of WWE anymore. I used to watch them a lot since I was a kid, but it's just they keep making stupid decisions with their booking and how they treat their superstars, and it just never really sat with me. So I stopped watching WWE for a hot minute, and I just stuck with watching AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling. And sometimes I'd pop into TNA to see what they're doing, or Impact, to see what they're doing. Sometimes I'd dip into ROH to see what they're doing. But I watch every other wrestling company besides WWE. But all that changed, though, when Vince McMahon stepped down as not only the CEO, but also the head of creative in WWE, which that's a whole other can of worms that whole thing could be its own video in and of itself. But after I found that out and Triple H took over as the head of creative, I started watching WWE again. I started watching it, and it was actually better. The quality was better. The matches were longer. The storylines were better. Uh, Wrestlers were actually getting a chance, getting screen time, getting consistent pushes. It was honestly really great. Not to mention the fact that the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title have gotten a significant boost of importance these past 8 or 9 months that Triple H has been in charge of creative. Honestly, things were looking good. Things were looking good for WWE. But then, like a cockroach, Vince McMahon just wouldn't die. He just wouldn't stay away. So, in my heart of hearts, I knew that the only way Vince McMahon was going to stop running WWE was when he's dead. In my heart of hearts, I knew that. So, I was like, a part of me was like, okay, I'm enjoying the Triple H era, but it's only going to be a matter of time until Vince crawls his way back to WWE. And he did. Vince McMahon pretty much forced his way back into the company and forced his way back into power. And now with this WWE UFC merger, he's now the head chairman of this new company. So, yeah, I don't know what this means for WWE. When all of this went down, you could definitely notice with the current shows, especially the second night of WrestleMania and the night after, the Raw after WrestleMania, that they were Vince McMahon booked shows. Because not only in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns beat Cody to be the world, to retain the UWU, the undisputed World Heavyweight Universal Championship, or whatever it's called. Again, that's a whole other video that I could make on that topic, because I got a lot of feelings on that. But the night after WrestleMania, there was the longest match on that show was 12 minutes. Everything else was either a promo or an in-ring segment. It felt like a Vince McMahon show. No call-ups, no NXT call-ups, no debuts, no surprise debuts, no Jay White, because there were a lot of rumors saying that Jay White was on his way to WWE, but as we all saw this Wednesday, Jay White saw all the mess that was happening with WWE right now, and he said, screw that. So he sprinted over to AEW, but it just felt like a Vince McMahon show. And I don't like where things are going for WWE now, because in that same interview where they announced the merger, Vince McMahon said that he has a hand in creative now, but apparently he's not going to be in the weeds like he used to be, even though it's bullshit. We all know he's going to be in the weeds. He loves being in the weeds. He loves putting his meddling little supervillain hands all over the creative process in WWE. And it's just noticeable that his fingerprints are all over the WWE product now, because the matches got shorter, the promos got longer, and noticeably certain wrestlers that Triple H hired back didn't appear. So on Monday on Raw, we got no Johnny Gargano, no Chad Gable, and we got no Karrion Kross, no Scarlett, no Bronson Reed, no Mia Yim. All the wrestlers that Triple H hired back were noticeably gone from this week's episodes of Raw and SmackDown. But who we did get, we got the same old faces. We got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Omos, because we all love Omos, right? Uh, I love the meme going on about we can now finally have the Omos versus Omos with special guest referee Omos. We got Omos, uh, just the usual faces, and it's it's sad seeing how things are going for WWE now, because I was actually excited for the future for a minute. But then my reality came in when I realized, damn, Vince isn't going to leave. Vince is inevitably going to crawl his way back. I told my barber this. I told my barber that I told him something along the lines of, he's going to come back eventually. Vince is going to come back eventually. And what do you know? I was right. Not to mention the fact that how the MMA fans feel. Uh, I was just only talking about the wrestling fans, but when I watched a YouTube video about the merger from a channel called MMA On Point, that's when I realized, damn, how do the MMA fans feel about this? Because they're noticeably scared too. Are they thinking like, damn, are we gonna have pro wrestling bullshit and our UFC now and our legitimate competition now? Are we gonna have storylines play out when nah, is the UFC gonna be scripted? Like that gross, disgusting professional wrestling? Ew. So it's just, we'll see how this goes, but it looks like I'm gonna stop watching WWE again since Vince McMahon is back now. So, welcome back, Vince. Welcome back. It's just, if anybody is gonna kill my creation, it's gonna be me. But anyway, that's about it. I just had a lot of feelings about this, and I just wanted to get them out. I might do more videos on why Vince McMahon left in the first place, and why I didn't really like Roman beating Cody at Mania Night 2. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I just had a lot of thoughts and feelings about the whole situation that I just wanted to get out into the world. And yeah, that's about it. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But if you really, really, really like me, then consider subscribing and ring that bell so you always know whenever I upload. Because it's free. It's free. Don't be a dum-dum. Subscribe today. Deuces. And it's glad to be back. I'm glad to be back.